Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live at the one and only, the raw, the rare, the real, the tried, the true. Bloom from within love. I go by Bloomy. If you are logging in live, of course, this a glorious Monday, August the 15th, 2022. Otherwise, if you're just logging on at a later date, just welcome, welcome. Thank you. If you're coming here, whether you are a returning viewer and subscriber, or if you are a new viewer and subscriber, if you are coming in pure, benevolent, love and light, high vibe, positivity, intentions towards me, who I am, and what I do here, then welcome. And I'm grateful for you. And may you be well and may you get all that in your reality. Okay. I appreciate all of you coming in, and I hope that you find things that are entertaining here, things that'll serve you and help you. Either way it goes on your particular journey and path. Okay. Now, the title says, what happens when you awaken and those around you go dot, 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 dot? What happens? Okay, so you guys, please only ever take what I share as it resonates with your own story. It's important. This is my resonance that I feel like is empowering to tell people to do the same, whether you're listening to me, listening to whoever you listen to, and whatever your belief systems are. It serves you to do your own due diligence because at the end of the day and night, if you're an adult grown person in the United States of the Americas, right? It's your life. You're responsible for your life decisions. You're the one that has to sit and swallow with your life choices. People can help you, people can guide you, people could be there, but they get to walk away from you after they're finished talking to you, after they're finished praying for you, after they're finished doing a Reiki session with you, whatever it is, they get to go away in their respective lives. And honey, I can promise you they're not losing any sleep behind you, even if they're a beautiful soul. Okay. So this is why I tell people, yeah, take things with a grain of salt, apply it to yourself because you have to live with your choice. Okay. I hope this helps. So everything that I share is going to be from the place of my own personal endeavors over years. Okay. This is not something I just Googled and scrolled and I saw it trending like everybody else and I just hopped on. Okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not my story. Okay. This has been in a long time making. If people follow the trend, I've been doing videos and stuff even before 2013. I just had an official platform since 2013, but this has been unfolding throughout all of my various stages of dark nights of the soul to the awakening and all these transformations. Okay, so this is not I'm trying to be like so and so, and that's not my story. Okay, um, so I share based on the research because I have done years of study. I'm considered a lifelong student. That's how I look at myself. Okay, so I am a Reiki master, Usui as well as Sekhmet. So I have two forms of Reiki, as well as just an energy channeler, light language channeler, reader, whatever we want to call it. Okay. Yeah, I'm those things. Okay. But it's been unfolding. I have a diverse background, you guys. Okay. So this is why I tell people be careful. Don't be so surface when we're looking at things. You never know what has seasoned a person. Okay. So, in other words, I do have a lot of official traditional Western education and experience, okay, as well as spiritual background, investigations, trial and error. I grew up under narcissistic abuse. I'm considered to be a survivor and thriver. I had to investigate narcissism to understand. I've raised a disabled young man primarily alone. So I have a very mixed background. I grew up in traditional religion like most cultures in the, Western United States, okay? And but have always been different from the gate. I was always different, and I know this now. Um and so the different ones are usually the scapegoats, the targeted ones, and so forth. Okay, that's the story. Now, in terms of awakening, there's so much information out there. And this is what I feel like frustrates a lot of people because there is a lot of information. And then we get in that information overload. So I try to guide people in a way of like, look, man, try to tap in, minimize what you're listening to if you can. Try to go with what is got where you're guided, okay? And then even take that in bits and pieces. But what happens? See, the first dark night of the soul to me is almost like Alice in Wonderland. The first dark night is like you wake up, it's twilight zone. It's just that you don't know why. Nothing is making sense. You don't know why. Okay, everything is happening to you. It's not making sense. You don't know why. You're doing the best you can. You're giving it all you have. Things are not adding up. You don't know why. All of these things, a lot of trauma, you find that you're attracting and connected to the same person and a different person over and over again, and you don't know why. See, these are like the initial dark nights, the awakening. Once you grab it, once you accept that first official dark night and start letting go of the beliefs, that's the first step, okay? Because the people around you are going to go dot, dot, dot. But the first step in those initial dark nights, when your soul is barely helping you to pull out the matrix, but you're fighting it with tooth and nail still. You're still fighting to hold on to any sense of comfort and familiarity and what you've known because it's all you know. And so when you finally embrace it, this is what happens. I can recall my first one. So what happens is it's a bittersweet. There's a pain, bittersweet. Okay, there's a liberation you're going to feel in the freeing, but a lot of pain and confusion because, wow, setting those intention and saying, hey, it's a soul thing you have to do where you say, hey, I am willing to surrender and let go of everything that I'm clenching onto, everything that I think I know that is absolute. If it means liberating me and freeing me from this wormhole, whatever the fuck this is, right? So once your soul recognizes this, or your higher self and your team assigned to you, then it'll be a series of events from then on. From there, you're going to go round for round with one tragedy after the next until you start to embrace the next phases of that. Because at first, we're still running. We're still trying to numb the pain because we're like, oh my God, my family are actually killers. What the hell is this? My family, they're killers. They're behind trying to kill me. Like, if that doesn't cause cognitive dissonance, I don't know what will. Okay. So initially, you're trying to still cope and deal with that while it was your family. Okay, for those of you that, okay, you discover that your family was dark. And when I say dark, I'm not talking about skin color and complexions. I mean, a part of some really dark shit. Okay, they were some of your past life karmics, or they had some type of a vendetta because you may be one of the few individuals in the bloodline that actually had the balls to stand up to them. So when that happens, you're still trying to, like, man, you got your traumas that you're still dealing with. Okay. Now, the people around you, you're going to see them shift too, because when you shift, they shift. And so I'm hoping to prepare some of y'all, like, don't trip, don't flip out. Don't flip out. Okay. It's because you shift, they shift. Okay. So as you are awakening, and so maybe you stop talking to people. That's one of the first things people do on an awakening. They cut people out because they have to make sense of things. Everything is discombobulated. Everything is an illusion, and they're aware of that. And so they're trying to get their bearings to make sense of what is actually going on versus what people are trying to convince them that's going on. Okay. So they disconnect so they can try to go and find themselves. What is this truth? What is happening? What is going on? They're still trying to live life. Okay. You're still trying to live life because you still got bills. You still got to take care of kids. So all of this is going on simultaneously. But once you do that initial cutoff, I'm not going to have a sermon about it. I'm not going to try to convince people of it. I'm done. This is fuckery. Something is wrong. Something is off. And I am going to go on a journey to discover and understand what the fuck is going on here, bitch. So then when you awaken, folks around you are going to go ... They are going to begin to get in a thither. See, they were already in a thither, but you were in a role that was fitting for them for a while. So it was kind of the routine of things. But when you go through that awakening and you shift and they shift, so you broke a routine. Once you break a routine, we have to understand, this is why I'm saying, people, don't flip out. Because you're breaking the routine. You're breaking the way it was, okay? I call it functional dysfunctionality, okay? Everybody knew it was fucked up, but it functioned, and so people just accepted that it was fucked up, and we just gonna roll with it the way it is, bitch. And when you decide to not, this is when they go into the high gear. So you're going to feel their hovering energy even when you're not around. You're going to feel them sniffing. You're going to feel them. Okay. This is when they start to stalk you, and you know that they are. Okay. This is when, you're going to sense and maybe get wind of them going behind your back and trying to gather other friends and family members to come against you and to stir up trouble and to cause things. Why? Because you shifted energy. You no longer stayed in the role comfortable for them about you. And so they're afraid of it. Okay, especially if they're narky. Okay, they're afraid of it. And if you were close enough to them, they know that you know some secret, undesirable truths about them. So they're going to go in panic mode, and you're going to start to see more of the ugly nature of these individuals that you knew were there and that you were experiencing on some level while you were still fitting the role that they wanted. But when you pull your energy back, the first stages of awakening is some of the most volatile, because that's the pushback, and you're still raw. You're still very, very, very raw. And I can say that because when I went through my first dark nights, this is why I went back and forth with my family. Even though I already knew that they were kind of fucked up and toxic. I already knew that. I had already experienced some things already with them. Okay, to begin with, okay, that had created the situations that were at hand in the first place. So, but when you're going through those first dark nights, you're still raw. You're human. You're raw. And if you're, like I said, if you're a mother or a father and you're just trying to keep your head above water, you still have a whole human you're responsible for. Not to mention when you haven't fully discovered that the motherfuckers were doing spells on you and your kid. Okay, so you're trying to still sift through that the best you know how. Okay, so but what these other people are doing, they don't like that. Either they can't get the same response out of you. You don't want to chat because they're going to commence to do ... And I'm going to give you an example. So they will allow the pull away because a part of their strategy is calling themselves leaving you out. Leaving you out, okay, if you won't allow them to control you. Leaving you out, okay, if you won't put up with the fuckery. Leaving you out, right? But what ends up happening, because they're still wanting to be like in your energy, they're still, wishing you evil or codependent on your energy, or because they can't really just let go, by the way. They say it's you, but it's the other way around. If they were able to let go of you with ease, then they wouldn't have, commenced to do all the things in which they did. Okay. So then they're going to go, these are all these strategies. Remember, you're still on the first stages. Boom, bitch. Okay. So you're still tender. You're still compassionate. You're still disoriented a little. So now they're going to play on every soft part you may have left in your heart, because now it's like, the 5 stages of grief kind of process, if you will. It's kind of similar to that. They try all of these various different approaches. Okay. So if, in the early stages, they know that it's a possibility you may still cave to, oh, your dad is sick. Oh, Sally Sue dying. Oh, like, because you'll notice that at some point they do let you go and they really have little to no interest. They are hovering, they're stalking you. You know it, you feel their energy, but you also do not have any contact. Okay. They're cool with that for a while, until something happens. Okay. Either they want you around to be a supply, to feed, to energy harvest, to try to commence another level of a spell, or, you know what I'm saying, to somehow get you back entangled. And they know that, okay, they're not for the fuckery. They're not going to want to talk to us, boom, bitch. They don't care about the picnic, bitch. So we're going to have to, come up with, they dying, bitch. She's sick. She dying, he dying. They'll still pull on that part of you. They don't really care about you, by the way. Just start paying attention. Don't freak out. But they will reach out, okay, because they're gonna say, hi, how you doing? Because you have to say that part. You have to say that. You have to say, hi, how are you? And how are you doing, my grandson or my nephew? Or, you got to give the blanket general, just, niceties that don't really mean shit. So they'll do that. Okay. But then it's going to be from that to, I'm dying, what I'm saying, or somebody's dying, or somebody had a heart attack. Like, it's interesting how they have let you go. They let you go, hovered you, let you go and watch you, but only contact with you when it comes to, attempting to report somebody dying, bitch. Somebody had a stroke this week, or, what I'm saying, all these things to try to dump their own burden that they are choosing to carry, but to dump it onto you that they really don't care for, because, obviously they let you go, right? So don't freak out. I know it's easier said than done. And, hopefully me sharing this information may strengthen some of you in that phase to where you don't cave. Because I used to, would hear it, even though I would be sitting there like, I see straight through this. But now I have no interest. And here's why, and you shouldn't either. Your health and well-being matter. These individuals, obviously, first and foremost, they are after you. They don't care about your health and well-being, or else they wouldn't have treated you the way they've done. They wouldn't have done half of the shit they've done. So it's like, it's about honoring yourself and you healing, because you have had to do this alone, chances are. Okay? While they attempted to sabotage that. So their burdens are theirs. While they've tried to attempt to sabotage you every step of the way. Now, then they'll come with their woes. So, because that's the trauma bonding that these toxic families are used to doing. That's the only thing they do well. Okay? Is trauma bond. In other words, when there's some kind of a catastrophe, fake empathy and sympathy, fake unity, okay? The dysfunctionality that everybody smiles and nods about. When you have removed yourself, don't be too shocked or unnerved that they're going to try every cycle of thing that maybe once upon a time would have worked on you, because they're going by the system. They're going by the programming and everything that has been in play. So if you once upon a time were more of easily fell for empathy traps, heartstring traps, and they're going to use that till the wheel falls off. Okay, I'm your mother, I'm your father. Yeah, if you were my mother and my father, you wouldn't have did this fucked up shit to me and my son, so save it. See, we have to get there, and it takes us a while to get there because we have that conditioning. It's still your mother and father. I'm using that example. It's still your mother and father. It's still your sister and brother. Okay, wonderful. If they were my one mother and father and sister and brother, they wouldn't have did the shit they did. Save it. Next. They wouldn't have been a part of trying to hurt and sabotage my life. So save it. We have to get strong within ourselves there enough to say that's not my problem, because they didn't have a problem with hurting me and my son for another dizzy fuck. So that's not my problem. Okay, they having a stroke, that's probably what they had coming to them because they were trying to kill me. Okay, so dismiss me with that. We have to, it's hard, guys. And see, I'm saying this to you all because it takes a while. Don't think I came out the box that way, because I didn't. I wasn't that way. It's hard. But when you start realizing that your own life is declining, your own health and well-being, when you start realizing that you've allowed these individuals to play a role in blockages in your life, when you come to realize that they really don't give a fuck, when you come to realize that they were actually trying to steal everything from you, you get to a place of realizing, like, no. I don't care if it is blood. I do not care if it's blood. If they were playing a role and trying to hurt me in any way, they deserve whatever the fuck they get. You have to embrace that for your own good. Otherwise, what will happen to you is that you're going to continue sabotaging and hurting your own life as well as possibly your child, because dealing with those types of people are dangerous to your own health and well-being. So if, not to flip out when it's like, because they're going to use anybody you all knew, shared contacts, shared connections. If you won't talk to them, they're going to get, old so-and-so, what I'm saying? They're going to call crying to, everybody who will listen and try to get to the one person they think you might talk to see if you'll listen or if you'll hear them out. And so we have to get to a place where it's like they use individuals as pawns. They use other individuals against you to try to take down your defense, to try to fill you out, to try to get you to second guess your reality and to make you doubt the decisions you've had to make. So you're awakening and shifting. So now they're doing it too. And I'm not saying, you guys, listen, you gotta follow your own guidance. Everybody's story may be playing out differently, but if you have a similar story as my own, then chances are this is going to be good for what ails you. And it may be a challenge. You may cry. You may wonder why, until you get to the place of when you're stronger, because you do eventually, you guys, we eventually get there and start separating all of the programming out. We get out of the place of nostalgia. We get out of the place of memories. Because see, that's what holds us back at first. We have memories of childhood. Remember back in the day when we was playing remember that 1980, 7, 8, like we'll have some old memories, but we have to accept that some of these people checked out. They went into the dark side. They gone, baby. They gone. Some of us, we were not in the know about our parents and shit. Like they were always a part of the damn problem, bitch. Because they didn't heal. Listen to me. I know this is hard to swallow, but it's the truth anyway. They projected all of their pain and abuse and traumas that have happened to them, usually onto their children, their offspring, while they sing the hallelujah chorus and talking about what God is showing them. And he ain't showing them shit. That's another video. But don't flip out. You'll get stronger and it won't feel so like, oh my God, how dare you? They're bitch, they trying to kill you. So, okay, which do you prefer? Huh? Like we have to start getting tough with ourselves in this way. Okay, so which do you prefer? Then if you want to be you wants to be the sympathy bitch, okay, so which do you prefer? Huh? Like we have to ask ourselves. And then when you sit with yourself, you be like, oh, you can sniff it up and wipe your eyes and be like, oh, okay, true. You know what I'm saying? Like then it's gonna be them bitch. Cause they done got me fucked up. It's gonna be them then, bitch. You heard? Because we have to separate. Okay. If people don't heal in life, things get progressively worse. That's one of the main lessons I have asterisk marked in my whole little spiritual arsenals. It's like, this is life. Those those that are not introspective, who are not taking on that life, it's progressive like anything else. And just because they're getting older in age, it does not mean wisdom necessarily. Thank you very much. It just means they've been here for a while. And they may have some factoids, but that does not necessarily mean wisdom. It doesn't mean that they are healing and transforming. It's their behavior and conduct that determines this, and not their routines and bumper stickers. So when we can grab that and go, okay, don't flip out. Because as you change, then they're going to. And they're going to keep trying one antic after the next. Whatever has worked before, this is what they're going to always use until, hear me out, until it no longer works. It's like children. Okay? Children do the same thing until it doesn't work anymore. They don't care about you huffing and puffing at them. I'm going to tell you right now, my son knows me like the back of his hand. And he's special needs. But he still know me like the back of his hand, though. Why? Because he has lived with me for the majority of his life and has watched my every action and move beyond my words, right? He knows what my patterns are. He knows what my routines are, even if he can't verbalize it as such, but he does know it. So he knows that I have different sides to me and moods. He knows that I may huff and puff and be like, I mean it, Darrell. I'm not playing Darrell. Okay. He knows that I'll go through those changes, be like, I am serious, Darrell. And we're having this conversation and blah, 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 blah. And he knows, and sometimes he'll even say it, which ends up making me even more mad, but that's another video. Because he'll even say it like, yes, you are, Mom. And I'll be infuriated for that because I'm like, damn, it's true, but I don't want it to be true. So I'm saying that to say that people that we have removed ourselves from, they're the same. Toxic people are the same, especially your family, lovers, exes. So they're going to keep doing the stuff that works, bitch, until it don't work. And they're going to keep trying. And then when it stops working and they get super infuriated, then this is when they start really going into desperation, Project Desperado, okay? Which is trying to extinguish you in some way, okay? If all other means have seemed to not have been successful, bitch, as they had planned, then it goes to the next phase. Okay. But remain calm in that this is a part of unprogramming. We don't show people that we're not going to tolerate certain things by telling them that we're not going to tolerate things. We show them that by not tolerating it. We don't show people that we mean business by saying it. We show them by, well, displaying it. You see where I'm going? Not the engaging necessarily in the verbal tug of war or giving them 1,000 tries as something that a 5-year-old should have figured out, because they're not going to figure it out. It's all tactics. When you awaken, people are going to go ... They're going to go through the roster, see who you may still like, see who's still talking to you, see who's still connected to you, to see if they can fill you out through that person. Okay. Then there's going to be a series of emergencies that, they'll have different ones commence to reach out. Okay. If that no longer works, if that starts to have a ricocheting effect. Okay. Then they're going to get little snotty nose Sally to cry and fall out. Whatever your thing is, you have to apply it to your thing, because they're going to critique it to your thing. Just like my son critiques things to me. He knows me. He knows me. I'm telling you, my son, he knows me. He'll try all of my moves on me. So if I'm super pissed and he knows that I'm super pissed and he know that he didn't took it to the left and to the extra and blah, 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 he'll try to pull one of my own moves on me. So he'll come in quiet. He'll come in all, articulate and polite, bitch, and be like, coming in, act like he understands, like he understands what's going on, telling me he's sorry and he understands, about his behavior. He used. I'm laughing because you guys have to see this play out. It's amazing. But because he knows that works for me. He's watched me be that way. He's watched me deal with him in that way. He's watched me deal with others in that way. And so since he has studied this, then if he's trying to get out of trouble and trying to get me to bend and break, he's going to result to the things in which he knows works. And this is so for the people around you, collective, as you're going through your awakening. They're programmed and they're used to the program. They're used to the ways in which they have known and related to you. That's what they're used to. So when you shift and break a pattern, there is going to be a chain reaction. Initially, it's a lot of pushback. But don't panic, or try not to, give intention to, or ask your guides to help you to not panic and to not default, because it's designed to make you push. It's designed to push you back into regression. It's designed to push you back into submission. It's designed to push you back into what they're used to and comfortable with about you. Instead of them healing and transforming and ascending and changing, to stay connected to you and to become more healthy individuals, they want to keep pushing you back down into the toxic cycles and dynamics in which they're comfortable with. They want you to let them abuse you. They want you to let them scapegoat you. They want you to let them use you and pretend like that's not happening. They want you to let them push you around and push you down and act like they're helping you so they can look big and like a hero. They want you to be a little less than them so that they can feel comfortable about themselves. And that's not okay. If you're here, you're born to shine and you have a right to shine. You have a right to do that without feeling like as you shine, somebody is trying to steal something. Somebody is trying to diminish something. Somebody's trying to compete where you were not even competing with the hoes to begin with. So this is when you know that there's some toxicity there that you're healing and ascending out of. You deserve healthy connections, but it takes us a while to work through our own stuffs first. Okay? As you awaken, folks around you are going to go ... But just know that that is a part of the process for every last one of us. If you talk to anybody that's ever been on an ascension path, they will tell you what those initial phases and stages are like for them. And it's very similar because they too were around a lot of toxic people, a lot of sleep people, and a lot of folks that were comfortable with them being in that sleep state. And it's usually family and friends. But don't be surprised because they're pulling out all these arsenals. Don't be surprised that you're getting all sorts of tugs and pulls at everything that once upon a time would cause you to crumble. Okay? All right, you guys. I love these discussions. Okay, it's a part of what I do. It's refreshing, it's freeing, it's liberating, and I hope it does that for you. Okay, YouTube, I will be uploading the lives that I've been doing on the TikTok. I think we're behind a few readings, a couple of readings, and then some of the other little discussions. And I'm going to do my best to catch up. I'm done with readings for today. But listen, if you're of love and light, I'm sending you love and light. If you're trying to wake up healing the sin and you're doing this the best you know how, and you're trying to be the best version of yourself, I send you love and light, man. I wish you well. May you get all of the support in the energy world, in the ethers, and on the earth that you need, in spite of what these motherfuckers have done to try to make your life hard. As a matter of fact, may you get even all the more blessed and all the more supported in the ways in which you need it and beyond for every infraction against your life and your child's life and whatever it is that's near and dear to you. All right? Namaste.